Yo, what's up guys, it's TBAG. As you can probably tell by the title, I'm here to give you guys an update regarding my health, regarding the cancer. Is it still there? Is it gone? What happens now? I will talk to you about that because I've been a little bit quiet on this topic because quite frankly, I hate this topic. Cancer is, I freaking hate it. And also because I was waiting for some good news to tell you guys, but that good news hasn't arrived yet. As you can see in the description and in the pinned comment, there is a link to my new Patreon page, and that's because I will be gone for a little while and I'll talk about that shortly. But for now, let me explain what is happening. Okay, so most of you know, exactly last year, around February 2019, I got diagnosed with testicular cancer and I had to go through surgery. I was really scared, I've never had surgery done before. But the surgery went well, recovery was relatively smooth, and for 6 months there was no sign of the cancer. So that's very good. But after give or take 6 months, they did another blood test. What do you know? Certain markers that indicate, the presence of the cancer were higher, were elevated. So they did another couple of blood tests and whatnot, and they confirmed that the cancer had indeed returned and now has spread through my body, specifically the lymph nodes or lymph glands or however you want to call it in my stomach area. So I had to go through chemotherapy hoping that this would help destroy the cancer. The chemo took around 10 weeks if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly, and that was literally, I'm not even kidding, that was literally the most crappy time, physically the most difficult time I've ever experienced by a long shot. I felt like garbage. I can't even express how shitty I felt throughout those 10 weeks. Obviously, the chemo itself takes a big toll on your body because it's some sort of toxic in your body. It's not supposed to be there, but it helps to destroy the cancer, obviously. For example, I'm gonna just say this. For example, I can't have children anymore, not in a traditional sense at least. And of course, I'm in my mid-20s, but it's still weird and tough news to swallow if you're thinking about that, for the future. There are a lot of consequences if you are a cancer patient or an ex-cancer patient. Things like insurance is higher, more strict. It's more difficult to get a mortgage on a house. It's way harder to find a steady job, because you are a liability for them. Obviously, I'm doing YouTube, but of course, you get the point. A lot of bad news to take in, but because I'm an epic gamer, and most importantly because of you guys, I push through it. So fast forward towards the end of the chemotherapy, a couple of months ago. The cancer is kind of gone, so that's obviously very, very good news. But me being me, I can't get good news without bad news. Because what happens was, the chemo didn't reduce the swelling of the lymph nodes in my stomach, right? They didn't find traces of the cancer in my blood, but when going through a scan, when looking at the pictures of the scan, they can see that the lymph nodes in my stomach, or certain parts, whatever, are still enlarged. And that means, unfortunately, surgery. A very, very, very big freaking surgery. And that's why I made a Patreon account, because I'll be gone for a little while, and honestly, I mean this from the bottom of my heart, because for me it feels very strange to make a Patreon account like this and like directly ask you guys if you want to support me. Obviously, and let this be clear, obviously, you don't have to support me on Patreon for whatever reason. If you don't feel like doing it, then please don't force yourself. I know it sounds obvious, everybody with a Patreon page says this, but I mean it. It already feels awkward for me to put this whole thing out there, but just so you know. That being said, if you do decide to support me on Patreon, then I don't even have words to describe how much you mean to me, and it really means a lot to me. Some of my friends convinced me that this is a legit reason to start a Patreon, because like I said, I was very hesitant about it. You know who you are, I appreciate you. So yeah, if you are interested in supporting me, then check the Patreon page down below. Check it out, see if you like it, and then decide for yourself. I know it's pretty bare bones as of now, but I promise I will make it better. Like a Discord server is coming first thing when I get back from the hospital. Anyway, let's talk about the surgery. The doctor told me that my previous surgery was peanuts compared to this one. And he explained what will happen during this surgery. So basically it's an open stomach surgery, so from all the way from the top all the way down the bottom. I think it's called a laparotomy, whatever. So that's gonna leave a nice big scar. Anyway, the lymph nodes apparently are behind all of my vital organs. So they need to kind of remove them, not remove them, but move them out of the way one by one. This scares me a lot, obviously. He told me that it's very important that he places them the correct way when he puts everything back. They're gonna cut this lymph node in question along with something attached to it. He told me there is a big chance that they will hit some kind of nerve during the surgery, and that will do some type of damage, which I'm not gonna get into because I don't even want to think about it. After they removed it, they're gonna analyze it, because now comes the scary part. There is a 40% chance that the material inside the lymph node is just dead waste. If that's the case, I underwent surgery for absolutely nothing, but you know, obviously you can't take the risk. There is another 40% chance that it's not dead waste, but kind of like cancer that's in a slumber mode, if I understand correctly. Basically, it means that later down the line, somewhere down the line, if not removed, it can cause some serious damage and cancer again and stuff like that. So that's a good reason why it needs to be removed. And there is also a 20% chance, and this scares me the most, a 20% chance that this is just regular good old cancer again. If that's the case, then I'm back to square one. I need to go through chemotherapy again, and the future will be pretty uncertain. So let's just hope that this isn't the case. If the surgery goes well, I'll wake up in a resting room. I'll have to stay there for about 24 hours, I believe, because I won't know what's going on at all. You know, I'll be very dizzy. I'm gonna have 5 tubes coming out of different holes in my body, so that's gonna be a lot of fun. You know, they will insert some type of draining tube in my stomach, and you know, you get the picture. I will stay in the recovery room for about 7 to 10 days. Could be longer, could be less. Obviously, I can't focus on YouTube during this time, hence the Patreon account. And I know it sounds silly to worry about my YouTube career when I'm going through all of this, but imagine, 3 years ago, my life got screwed because of some medical issues. I've been staying home exclusively inside since then, and I've built this YouTube channel from the ground up without anything. And this channel and this community means the world to me. I don't want to lose this thing that I worked so hard for. Going away for a while on YouTube when you have a small channel like I have, you know, the algorithm can pretty much kill a channel like that. It almost happened to me a couple of months ago when I went through chemotherapy. So yeah, I don't want to risk it. I am financially dependent on my YouTube channel. You know, I support my family because of my YouTube channel, not even kidding. It means a lot to me. I don't want to lose it. I think you guys understand. After these 10 days, I will be back, of course. You know, an epic gamer never loses. Don't know when I'm gonna start making videos again though, because the road to recovery is a long one, I think. But, you know, we'll see. I think I'm gonna end the video right here. If this is the last time I'm speaking into a microphone to you guys for whatever reason, because, I don't know, something went wrong, you know, there are always some risks involved, then I want you guys to know that words cannot express how much you guys mean to me. If it weren't for you and this community support, I'll be honest, I don't know where I would be today. Let's put it like that. I appreciate each and every one of you. Let's get through this, and hopefully I see you guys next time.